in the route. So we are starting with app component. By default, as per our route, home is in the startup. So that means as per the route we defined. So first by default home comes, that we mentioned in wildcard route. And one more page not found. Actually, we don't have any data to show. So I just created some, suppose electronics. So here I'm adding some electronics. I'm adding some electronics. So a div and electronics home, some images and all like. So electronics home, right? Something like, okay. And some options, images here added. Assets reveal in Explorer. We haven't added any data into that actually. So let's access some data and keep it here. So in images, I have some images here. So I'm copying some images. Okay. And adding them here. Okay, so in the electronics, I have some just image src. So assets, so earpods.jpg. Width is 100, height is 100. Just roughly, I'm keeping some data for its appearance, okay? Another one is JBL speaker.jpg. Okay, this is electronics home, right? Electronics home. And we have footwear home. So this is footwear home. I change this to footwear. Okay. Yeah, footwear. Okay, and here I change it to shoe and shoe one, like shoe one.jpg. One.jpg. Fine. That is the basic here. Now in a page not found HTML, so here just a header is coming. Page you requested. Not found. That message will come. And you can see that. So when I request this local host, okay, then the local host, and currently home works. We haven't done anything in the home. Then electronics, it should get electronics home. Footwear, it should get that footwear home. So it should get the details and display the details. And I'm requesting something which is not available. That means some fashion. Okay, then it should say page you requested, not found. So that is the basic approach of configuring and accessing the data. Now, another important point while working with routing. In this complete approach I given to you, how we configured the route, how we are accessing the routes and using the route. So one more important here you need to understand while working with the routes. We need to know about another concept, that is route parameters. Route parameters actually Generally, web applications use query string to transport data across components. Web application use query string to transport data across component. So usually the query string will be like this, question mark, name equal to value, ampersand, name equal to value, the query string name and value. Now routing, so when routing is implemented, you can use you can configure route parameters. You can configure route parameters. So you can configure route parameters. So instead of traditional query string, these route parameters are a little bit safer and easy to query your content. That means safe and easy to query any content from URL. Safer in the sense the keys are hidden. Actually, generally in route parameters in query strings, you will have a key and a value references. Here in routing, it will be in this way, page slash, so just value slash just value. You have to pass like this. So generally, suppose you are accessing, shopping.php, so some page, question mark, PHP, JSP, ASP. Here I just given some HTML. Okay. Here you are searching for category. Category is equal to electronics, ampersand. Then here you define subcategory. Category is equal to mobiles, and again ampersand. So in that, so we have model is equal to Samsung, like this. That means your URL need to be very lengthy, complex. Now with routing, this will be in this way, shopping.html slash in that electronics slash in that mobiles in that Samsung. That is more easy to query your content and more easy to find your current location. That's what actually route parameters can do. So that is important. And how do we access the route parameters? How do we manage the route parameters? So for that, we need to understand one basic point here. Actually, to configure the route parameters in the path, so route parameters are defined in the routing. The route parameters are defined in the routing. So in the route, we need to add some parameter related options, and we have to access based on the parameters. So how routes are added and how we access the route parameters. Let's see that. Generally, to handle and work with the route parameters, Angular router module provides Angular router library provides activated routes module. So which is responsible for configuring and accessing route parameters, which is responsible for configuring and accessing the route parameters. So configuring the route parameters, accessing the route parameters, that is done by activated route. Activated route.